I'm Renss Greene.
And I'm Jennifer Montgomery.
I mean, you're welcome to jump in if you want.
Hi, I'm Beth Erickson. No, none of this feels right. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll get back to Beth Erickson. We have a surprise guest on today's show. Our show starts with one good thing. So what's your one good thing today, Jen?
My one good thing today is that our local Loudoun Habitat for Humanity is dedicating a new house in Leesburg, and it's a duplex. So that means it's a home for two families, and I think that's fantastic. And in a place where getting housing sometimes can be such a real challenge, knowing that our community came together to create a space for two families is pretty awesome.
Cool. My one good thing is actually a little bit older. It's the Excellence in High School Journalism Awards that Loudoun Now just did. And I have to say that I was a longtime journalist myself, and the coolest part, the one good thing from that for me was seeing how excited the kids were, particularly, because I think we need more reporters, and these kids were incredibly talented, and they did amazing work. And every time some new award was announced, first of all, they brought a bunch of their friends from all the different high schools across the county, and every time we announced an award, all the kids from that school would start shouting and screaming, and so that was really fun to see them get that excited about it. It's always cool to see. It's also always cool to see. I'm very intimidated by Loudoun students. They're
He's so impressive.
They're way too smart. Every time we have interns, I'm like, please don't apply for my job. So our surprise guest today, Beth Erickson. Hi, Beth.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Jennifer.
What is your one good thing?
I love it. And I'm going to pick up where you just left off, talking about Loudoun County students. I had an opportunity Friday to participate in the mock jury. So I was able to see the law camp that was started by Judge Horn, and I was stunned at what the prosecution put forward, the defense. I love the interaction with the jury afterwards, talking directly to the students, and also the respect from the judge that heard the case. It just absolutely gave me just a feeling of not only pride in Loudoun County students, but also hope for the future, and the fact that if these 6 young people that I watched try this case go on to law school, I think it would be a phenomenal, phenomenal thing to help support our judicial system. It was really impressive.
Let's start by getting to know you, Beth. So how did you come to Loudoun County?
I have been in Loudoun County since 1987. No, actually, I take that back, 1986. So we originally lived in Middleburg, and then we moved to Waterford in 1987. And just a few years ago, I became a Leesburg resident. So while I am not a native...
Welcome to Leesburg.
Thank you so much. And so while I'm not a native of Loudoun County, I've got some tenure, and I love it.
We do have a Loudoun County native, of course.
We do. Although not a native, you are most certainly welcome here. Everybody's welcome in Loudoun.
Well, we wanted to talk about the summer of Loudoun. There's a lot to do in Loudoun County in the summer. I mean, I look at the events calendar and, like, you can't walk for music events and everything else, but what are you guys doing in Loudoun this summer?
Oh, I'm eating tomatoes from the farmers markets.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I think about my favorite things to do in the summer. Swimming is top of the list, but I think visiting our farmers markets, visiting our farms, all the fresh, really good food that we have here is such a great thing during the summer.
Absolutely. You know what really goes well with a beautiful vine-ripened tomato?
Do tell.
A gorgeous glass of Loudoun County rosé. What our wineries are producing is just phenomenal. And every single winery has a great experience. And there is nothing better than fresh basil, a little balsamic vinegar, and those tomatoes. Throw some corn on the cob on there. That is just summer on a plate and in a glass. I will tell you, I think that when we think about summer in Loudoun, that we have got some of the best hiking for all abilities in Loudoun County. I will tell you my favorite, and then I'm going to ask you guys what your favorite is. My favorite is, we just did it a couple weeks ago, entering in Ball's Bluff and taking the Potomac Heritage Trail right along the river.
Yes.
It was stunningly beautiful, and I think pawpaws are going to be coming out soon. So you walk through, and there's pawpaw trees everywhere.
The other thing that I love, any place along the river, or even along Goose Creek, is the bald eagles. We really have a lot of eagles that nest here locally, and I love checking them out and seeing them. Always got to look up.
you used to never see bald eagles. Like
It's true.
what a
That's
success
true.
story.
And there are bald eagles that nest, I know, right outside of Waterford, right on Clover Hill Road. There are a pair of bald eagles that nest there, and they are just beautiful to watch.
Did you know that there is a barred owl that lives in the trees on the front lawn of the Loudoun County High School on Dry Mill Road in Leesburg?
Cool.
So if you want to take a cruise right at dusk, you can usually hear the owl out there.
And is the owl named anything?
I haven't named it anything. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Maybe it's a captain. Maybe it's Captain Bard Owl.
I love
for the
it.
county captains.
And it should be.
They should name the owl.
I don't know if
Has
they
anyone
know. I
pitched
might
this
have
to them?
to
Okay,
call
what?
Dr. Luttrell and tell her that the owl's out there.
It's a great idea. Mine, though, is over Bear's Den, near Bear Chase
Same. I
Spring.
was going to say Bear's Den.
Yeah. I used to live out in Clark County, and that was just like, well, that place is so great because on one side of the road you have Bear's Den, which you can either start from the bottom of the mountain and make a decent hike of it, or there's a parking lot at the top of the mountain, and in a 5-minute walk you can be looking at the overlooks. Or if you're really feeling saucy, on the other side there's Raven Rocks, which is a pretty arduous hike. I think it's about a 5-ish mile hike,
Yeah.
and it's pretty vertical, which is just really fun. So
I think that's one of the top 5 toughest parts of the AT over there.
that's
so
a tough part. Yeah.
Well, and we've got 3 AT communities in Loudoun County, Round Hill, Bluemont, and Hillsborough. And so they're both great entrances to the Appalachian Trail, but it's also a great way when the hikers are coming off to either get provisions or to take a rest. And it is so much fun to talk to somebody who is making the through hike on the Appalachian Trail and to understand what is their trail name, how long have they been out, what are some of their best experiences, and they are a hardy bunch, I can tell you that much.
when you think about Loudoun and you think about the West and how amazing, I mean, we just named 5 or 6 things, right, in the West. And then you also think about all of the really cool things that are happening in the East, too, and in the South, and in the, in the north end of the county as you get to Point of Rocks. And that's one of the things that I love about this place is that you can drive 10, 15 miles and really be someplace completely different and have a different experience. I think it makes us unique.
And I think summer is a perfect time to have all of those experiences. So you have, the wineries certainly with, hundreds of acres under vine. It's one of the top producers of grapes in the Commonwealth. But then you go to the small grain farmers. So you've got everything from somebody that may be farming a very small in comparison plot of land. You've got fruit trees that are happening, Christmas trees that are being grown, grains, of course, grapes. But you also have a lot of sheep and goat. And it is the agricultural tradition in Loudoun is alive and well. And it will continue to evolve because I think that this is where you're going to be seeing a lot of entrepreneurship and just real creativity of how to connect people with the land. And I think that it is what will continue to make Loudoun such a leader in a really special and unique way.
Have you guys ever had a CSA, the Community Supported Agriculture thing, where you subscribe? And I tell you what, I started my first one in COVID. I think like a lot of people, it was like, I'm home, I'm cooking a lot. I'm sure it'd be great to have some local produce and stuff like that. And I think that's the best summer of eating that I've ever had, was just having that CSA and every once a week going and picking up a box.
Well, and now you can get flower shares. They have CSAs for flowers. They have them for all sorts of different things. I think, too, we have community farms here in Loudoun that grow food and share those with those in need. And so that's also a really cool and a way to volunteer and to get your hands in the dirt and get out there. And then a lot of our farms also donate and give back to the community, which I think is really important too.
Oh, it absolutely is. And I think if anybody's looking for a CSA, again, Community Supported Agriculture, loudonfarms.org is a great resource to look it up and to see how to engage and how to enter into a CSA program. But I will also say it's not just flowers and meats and vegetables. Some of our breweries also have CSAs of their own kind because you have community-supported brewing. And you've got really incredible breweries in Loudoun, limited breweries that are using their own product to brew everything from peach ales to cherry sours to pumpkin ales in the fall. So again, it's another way to use and to keep land in agricultural use. All right, Renss.
Oh, no.
Tell me your perfect Loudoun day.
Well, I'm glad you asked. My perfect Loudoun day. Okay, I think now some of this is a little bit arbitrary because there's a lot of good options here, I think. But I think for breakfast, I would start with Buford's Biscuits here in Leesburg. And in the morning, I think probably something like drive up to like Algonquin Park or something and take a walk off the biscuits. It's just so beautiful around that part of the county, I think, up near the river there. Lunch, maybe Market Burger in Percival. For my money, that's one of the best burgers you can get, really, is the burger place down in Percival.
I just saw today on Facebook that their milkshake special is a blueberry milkshake today.
All right, well, I might head down.
FYI.
Okay, we got to stop recording. I'll be right back. And then, let's see, afternoon, I think probably, as it's so hot right now, for the afternoon, probably museum. And for me, that's going to be either maybe the Farm Museum at Claudemore Park, which is very cool place if you've never seen that. Or genuine, one of my favorite museums on the planet is the Udvar Hazy Center over at near Dulles Airport. They've got, if you've been there, they've got an SR-71, they've got a space shuttle, they've got all these cool like history-making aircraft just on display. You just walk right up to. It's just if you're a dork like me and you love airplanes and spaceships and so forth, it's such an amazing place. I love that place.
And they have the IMAX there, which is super cool too if you've never seen an IMAX movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a very cool way to do it. And then dinner, I think probably Clyde's. Clyde's is a great place. I think if you're trying to impress somebody out an evening out, you could do worse than taking them out to Clyde's, probably.
The architecture, if you don't know the history, too, of the way that they put that whole building together, it's a series of barns and buildings
Historic
and stables.
Houses,
And it's amazing. It's worth it. The food's always, I think, consistently good. But
always good.
It's really worth it just to go really walk through and see how stunning and amazing that space
I agree.
is.
And I've got to say at this point, Renss, I don't know what else is on your agenda, but you are managing to go and touch a lot of different corners in Loudoun. So I'm intrigued. So what happens after Clyde's?
I think one Loudoun probably. I think if you're looking for a place to just hang out in the evening, just walk around one Loudoun, and you don't have to pick anything specific because you can just walk around and see what catches your fancy. You might meet some Washington Commanders while you're over there.
I will say that I understand that Sense of Thai has got quite the dance feel going on. If they're bringing a DJ on weekends, I would agree. One Loudoun has got a lot going on. That's a lot of fun. So Jen, tell me, what is your favorite Loudoun day?
My favorite Loudoun day would probably start with a walk on the trail. I live right by the WOND trail, and so you can hop on that and sort of end up in town, which I love, in Leesburg and all over the place if you keep going farther. And then I'd probably stop over at South Street Under at Market Station and get a little breakfast. I personally love bacon, egg, cheese, and tomato on ciabatta.
Stop it. That is just wonderful.
With an iced latte. Then I think I would head to Middleburg after breakfast. I love Middleburg. I went to school in Middleburg when I was growing up. And so I just really love it over there. I love all the shops. And there's tons to do. There's tons of restaurants. And I would stop in at the Upper Crust Bakery and get an original cow puddle cookie, which is just my favorite. Mr. Stein created those so many years ago. And I'd have a little cookie and wander around town. And although I feel like all we're doing is talking about eating, I'd probably go over to the Red Horse and sit outside on the deck and have a cold beer and have a little lunch and say hi to Sam over there. And then at that point, I'd probably need to do something physical to get moving. So I'd probably come back into town and take my kids and go over to Ida Lee. So they have the A.V. Symington pool, outdoor pool, and it's sort of like it has a lazy river and it has water slides and there's stuff for every age and every member of your family. And so I think that would be really fun. And then once we sort of did that and spent our afternoon in the sun, there's nothing better than going to get in your shower and then going to have some dinner someplace. And I love local provisions down in Cascades. And they have a place to sit outside. They have a place to sit inside. They have the best cocktails. They have a really fun cocktail menu. And they really do cook locally. and seasonally, which I really love about them. And they have that open fire cooking. And so I think that's super fun. And then I like to have ice cream after dinner. So we have a lot of really great places to get ice cream in Loudoun. I love Grudo's in downtown Leesburg. I love Brookfield Dairy, which is our local dairy farm. And as a former 4-H'er, the Harrison family has their brown Swiss cows, and they have a little trailer right there at Harmony Church Road and 15 South. And so if you haven't stopped to get ice cream, that is like
and their yogurt is amazing.
The summer trip to stop there.
I would agree.
Yeah, and by then you'd have to roll me home, I think. Because
I was going to say, that is a very busy day.
We'd have a lot. Of you.
I like everything that you're headed with. So I will tell you, I get to go last. So that was a good way to do, right?
We let her seize control of the show already. She's interviewing us already.
Who are the hosts? Who are the hosts?
But what I love about it, so my first thing always bright and early is a walk at Morven Park. So the fact that we've got that 1,000 acres that is open to the public, it's a phenomenal walk, both in the sunshine, through the trees. It's fantastic. And then you walk back through and you go into downtown Leesburg this morning, because I did this walk this morning, and I went to Cowbell Kitchen, and they had the most amazing peach smoothie bowl.
Yum.
With a mandarin herb that was in. That was just, I've never had anything like it. That was fantastic. There's great shopping. There's some wonderful thrifting all over Loudoun, which is one of my very favorite things to do.
Can we go back to Cowbell Kitchen for 1 second?
I would be delighted to.
The curry ketchup
is the best.
Oh, my God.
And the strawberry muffins. Stop it.
Okay, sorry.
Stop it.
The place is across the street from my day job, and it's pretty dangerous to have it right there. So.
Yeah. The thing that I love about middle of the afternoon and to go shopping, we've got amazing boutiques all over Loudoun. We also have, probably one of the busiest areas in this area is, of course, the outlet mall. But what has begun to start happening a lot is this collection of thrift stores that are throughout Loudoun. So they are each unique. You're going to get something that nobody else will have. I just hit a couple of them yesterday and had great luck, loved it. I also went to Middleburg yesterday afternoon to meet a friend in the evening and went to the Red Fox. And we had a fantastic dinner at the Night Fox, which was great. I will say that is probably when I want to bring somebody in to surprise them as my aha when we go anywhere. One of the places where I love to go is the National Sporting Library. I think it is just such a hidden gem in Loudoun. It is, when you walk in, the sculpture, the paintings, everything devoted to field sports. Mm-hmm. So hunting, fishing, eventing, horses. It is just fantastic. And then the other thing I would always say is live music. One of the things that I don't think people really know, insider tip coming up for you, is the incredible musicians that are in and around Loudoun County. You cannot have a bad time when you hear live music in Loudoun, whether it's at a brewery, a winery, at a festival outdoors. Live music makes the summer sing, in my opinion.
And we have amazing musicians in Loudoun County.
We do have a lot of amazing musicians. So, Beth, we could probably name 10 places that we would go for like a really special meal. And so I'm not going to limit you to one, but if you had to pick 1, 2, 3 places that maybe people don't know about.
Wine Kitchen, always a wonderful meal, great pairings, just fresh, local. Recently took my father and stepmother to Ford's Fish Shack. Again, you can't ever go wrong. The other thing that I will tell you is our ethnic restaurants are on point. Whether you are looking for Mexican, we have Himalayan. We have a Himalayan restaurant.
Yeah.
It is just everything from Asian cuisines, the Korean restaurants, the street food restaurants that are popping up. It is just, you could tour the world in Loudoun, and that's the mark of a really fun place to visit.
I think what you said earlier about, I think surprising people is kind of a Loudoun hallmark, actually. I think people often are surprised when they come to Loudoun just how much is like what you can do here, what's going on, and how good a lot of it is.
I would agree with that.
I have to mention for Wine Kitchen, the chef there, Tim Rowley, he's like a really nice guy. He's just a cool guy. And over at Ford's, the guy who owns Ford's is a guy named Tony Stafford. And it's worth saying, Tony Stafford, in addition to making pretty good food, does a lot in the community.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He does a lot of good.
And I think that also kind of gets back to the whole theme of the podcast, right? Which is to eat well, to drink well, to live well is, I think, again, what sets Loudoun apart. I feel like I've said that so many times during this.
Yeah.
But it's true. But, we're a little biased.
We are a little biased.
At AV Symington, by the way, one of my favorite things, I don't know if everybody knows about this, but the water park over at Ida Lee, usually I think it's September, I believe they usually do this. Before they shut it down for the winter, they do the annual dog swim. For one day, they just open the water park up to dogs.
Yes.
And it might be the most fun day at the water park, even though you're not really supposed to be in there swimming. It's for the dogs, but they have such an amazing time.
We love everything on four legs, right? And so you have the downtowns, whether it's Middleburg, Percival, Leesburg. So you'll see merchants that are out and they've got dog bowls, they've got biscuits. I will tell you that my impossibly cute corgi named Smitty knows where every single biscuit is in downtown Leesburg, which is where we live. So he will put his little brakes on. And the thing that cracks me up is when I'm walking him around after hours, when all the biscuits are gone, he will just sit and shame those business owners that their biscuits are not available to him. But again, it's just one of the really lovely parts of Loudoun. But let's talk a little bit about horses, because the equestrian community in Loudoun is really quite robust. Polo is a way to really get very, very close to horses. Those polo ponies are incredibly calm, and they will come up to the crowd at the end of a match, and you can pet them on their nose. It's just really special. As the sun is setting, there is nothing more quintessentially Loudoun.
The caliber of athletes who go to play at Morven Park is not just like some local guys getting together or whoever. And right, like you've got national teams from around the world. Olympians come and they play at Morven Park. I mean, you get to see some really amazing talent.
That's true. And there's polo in Middleburg. There's polo at Morven. We're beginning to start seeing trail rides coming on. So there's an outfitter that has just started at Sweet Run Park.
Our newest state park here in Loudoun County. Also good news.
That's been a long time
Very
coming,
good
too.
news.
The thing about the equestrian community here in Loudoun is that those roots run really deep, and events like the polo in Middleburg and at Morven and other places like that are open to the public. So anybody can go, and it's an opportunity to learn about that community and to learn about the sports, and you can feel like you're a part of something and go be a part of it.
One of the things that surprised me when I first came into Loudoun was the Upperville Horse and Colt Show.
Yes.
It is, I believe, one of the oldest sporting events in the country.
Right.
Started there. Some of the resources that I think are great to plan your perfect day in Loudoun, one of which, hands down, Get Out Loudoun. That publication where it goes through and it talks about the different events that are happening over the course of the month that it is being published. They've got a phenomenal events calendar. The Visit Loudoun calendar of events is a great resource as well, visitloudoun.org. So you've got Get Out Loudoun, and you also have Loudoun Now. Both publications do a phenomenal job of giving you what is happening for that upcoming weekend, and a great way to plan out your best Loudoun day.
We've talked about how to eat good, how to drink good.
And now let's talk about how to do good. Beth, can you think of some ways that you can get out in Loudoun and do some good for yourself and also do some good for our community?
One thing that I think is always going to be important, doesn't matter what time of year, but is to support your local, whether it's a local restaurant, whether it is a local shop, support your local farms. And you can do that through farm stands. We've talked a little bit about CSAs, community-supported agriculture, but also do things like join a wine club, join a mug club, because these small businesses really depend on that income stream to know what is around the corner. And I will say that from an agricultural standpoint specifically, the CSAs allow them to know what you want in your produce boxes and what you want in your flower boxes. And so they know what they're going to be planting in the next season. It's really a very powerful circle to support those local farmers, because those farmers keep our land in agricultural use. And one of the things that I think makes Loudoun such a unique destination is you've got the urban east, where it's vibrant. That's where your nightlife is going to be. That's where your ethnic restaurants and dining will be. That's where it's humming. It's just vibrant. And then you go into these historic towns and villages where each one is different and creates a unique sense of place. And then you go into the rural part of the county where you have those beautiful hills and vines where you can meet the people who are working to create those experiences and to keep agriculture alive. So when you look at the fact that Loudoun County has 440,000 residents, we could almost be our own ecosystem. And if everybody supported our agricultural producers, if everybody supported our small businesses, it would be a really, truly good thing.
I think that's, and what you said, like if you have a favorite like brewery or winery, joining a mug club or a wine club is such a great way to support them. I've had some family that farmed. It's a risky profession. You really don't know from one year to the next sometimes if you're going to be able to make a profit or anything else. And that joining one of those CSAs, joining a mug club or a wine club, it gives them a steady, predictable source of income, and it gives them such a boost to help them plan for their future and be able to run their business. And also, it's a great way for you if you're already buying beer at that place. Well, typically you get
Right.
get a good deal on it.
This is also the time of year when a lot of our restaurants are doing dinners with local farmers and local food. I was thinking about our friends Rebecca and Jason Lage out at Market Table Bistro. That's a great way to really eat seasonal local food right here in our own backyards, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
I couldn't agree more. And one of the things that I also would always encourage people to do, which is to buy gift cards for local experiences. And when you go out to these small businesses, really talk to the people who are working there and to understand why they love what they do, because nothing will make you feel better than walking out, not only having that incredible experience, but creating a connection. And I think more and more that is something that we all need, which is that connection to talk with somebody and to understand what makes them tick. And they will give you something that may surprise you. They will give you something that you would go, oh yeah, I've been there. But no matter what, they're going to give you a great idea.
It's so fun to have friends who do things like that because, as you say, first of all, they will tell you about things that you never would have guessed are even out there. And one other thing we almost forgot to mention, go to a ball game. Go to see the Percival Cannons down in Percival. I love seeing a ball game in the summer.
I love the Percival Cannons. And a note of good news, did you know that the Percival community and probably beyond feed the Cannons players before every home game? So their local business community makes an effort to make sure that they get a good meal before they play, which I think is awesome. And local families host all of those players all summer long.
And I also just want to say, if you like going to ball games, so I love baseball at every level. I love it from the little league up to the majors. But I actually kind of prefer going to small ball. Like, I really enjoy going to something like the Cannons. First of all, you're sitting practically on the diamond. You're right there. And the games are just wild.
There's a lot of talent with those. They're all college age players, and there's a lot of talent that's out there.
There's incredible talent out there. The games are so fun to watch, and I don't know, get some signatures.
Oh, I love that. And the other thing that I will tell you that probably almost on every single rectangle and diamond in Loudoun County this summer will be filled with sports tournaments coming in. So we like to joke that July is the ponytail month because of the amount of softball teams that are coming into Loudoun. So they're coming from all over the place, whether it's soccer, whether it's softball, baseball, and they are coming from up and down the East Coast, and they come in, they do little parades as they're getting ready to start their tournaments. It is Americana at its best.
And that is thanks, in large part, to our fantastic parks and recreation facilities across the community.
Absolutely.
We have amazing facilities in Loudoun.
Yeah, we do. Let's talk about music this summer. We've got the Tara Summer Concert Series, which is always a crowd favorite. Great
Very
place
fun.
to bring people from
Always
out
a
of
good
town. It's all ages shows every
Lots
Saturday
of good
night.
food.
Great food.
Great beer, good wine.
Great
Just
wine,
good fun.
Dancing around outside.
Have you guys ever been out to the annual Loco Fest at 868 Vineyards?
Such a fantastic location.
Oh my God, the
Beautiful.
stage is fantastic and the music is just wonderful. And I think that's coming up at the end of August. I think it's August 31st. And then we've got, I am so excited. Jennifer, I know you are too. The Crossroads Music Festival featuring
yeah.
Andy Summers coming this September.
Talk about
man.
an amazing group of local musicians who came together to do good in our community.
And they invited Andy Summers of the Police to
Amazing.
come talk about his experience, his thoughts from the road.
And I don't know
Some
if
of
you
the
saw,
best.
but Sister Hazel is also coming.
I did. I love that. I love that. And then every single one of our towns has got music, whether it is concerts on the town green, the villages at
in
Leesburg
Leesburg.
have a plaza party. You've got the Middleburg Community Center has a free concert series. That's one thing we've not touched on, which is how many things you can do here for free. Hillsborough has got, again, a great stage and fantastic music. They've got a music series all throughout the summer. And that is a great way to get out, pack a picnic, bring some Loudoun food,
Let your
enjoy
kids run
where you're
around.
going to go. Nothing better.
Yeah, agreed. Summer's a magical time, and there's a lot of opportunities in Loudoun to go find your magic and to find the good and to do the good, eat the good, drink the good.
That's what we ask you to do. Go out into the world and find the magic of summer in Loudoun.
Has anybody seen fireflies?
I have.
Yeah.
They're in our backyard.
Love it.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
There's more this.
There's more this year. Yeah.
What I love about this conversation is that we all clearly love where we live. We love to share where we live, and we love Loudoun.
That's right.
And we're lucky to live here.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Loudoun Lately. Beth, thank you so much
Oh, it was
for
a
coming and
pleasure.
doing this with us.
Thank you.
I'm Renss Greene.
I'm Jennifer Montgomery.
And I'm Beth Erickson.
We should probably have a tagline for this show.
These are only our opinions. They are not facts.
This is a fact-free
This is a fact-free podcast. Maybe we should say that. Ladies and gentlemen, this
you guys
is a
ever
fact-free
heard,
podcast. And we should
Talk
say,
amongst yourselves.
we should say, our opinions are expressly our own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our opinions are each other's. I say Jennifer's opinions and she says mine.
Kate Bush.
Powered by Pounce Solutions.